Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. My name is Chris. I'm with Jim McCormick, and this is, I guess, Harris After Dark, or whatever it's called, where we try to pick the games against the point spread each week. Our mission is accomplished if we make you smile at some point during this video, because the picks haven't been great lately,
it's
Jim.
more like Harris during the dark, but or Harris in the dark, or I don't know, but it's yeah. We're having fun.
I have fun recording these when we record them, and then we get to Sunday and I go, oh man, come on again. I felt like we had some really actually like savvy, like I thought the Falcons over the 49ers was like, I saw something there. I thought that line was weird. I didn't pick it for my best bet. I went 6-8 last week. I haven't had a winning record. I've been 6-8 like 4 weeks in a row. Haven't had a winning record since week 1. I think you hit Mount 500. You were at 7-7, right?
That's my goal. It's just to get right there. So
no, the goal is to dominate. However, as Craig Clark, our mutual league mate in large, texted me, "Hey, your best bet didn't do so good this week." It's like, Craig, yeah, it's true. We both, independent of each other, took the Ravens against the Giants. Not only did they not cover,
they did it again. They did the Raven thing again, where like. I'm checking the score in the middle of the third quarter. I'm like, we are good. Things feel good.
I was watching it live. They were up 10 in the fourth quarter. All right, so I'm putting on the glasses, putting on the Felix Grays, because I promise that the person who gets their best bet correct in the comments, I like to shout them out here. Thank you to Dave Pyper for all the producing that he does, and also for giving me this name. It was JD Fumano. I'm sorry if I'm massacring your last name, but JD, thank you very much for watching and commenting, and you got the Bills correct on the road against the Chiefs, as did I. I don't believe Jim had that one, which makes JD and myself very tight, and Jim, you're kind of on the outs in our friendship.
I mean, I kind of just want to post on Twitter about it and just, It
is fair. So before we get to the games, the Week 7 games, I'm going to update something, and ESPN gave us this stat, I believe, during Monday Night Football. The number of games that have been within one score in the fourth quarter so far this year. Now, obviously, everybody knows who's watching. This is me making excuses. Obviously, this is me trying to not look like a jackass for getting all these games wrong and having a show in which we're supposedly giving people advice. 73 games so far this season have been within one score in the fourth quarter. 57 games so far this year have been decided by one score, both the most in NFL history through 6 weeks. What do you say about that, Jim?
I say that it feels historic what's happening to me with my picks. So I'm glad that something's aligning with it, So
it's the only thing that explains it. It isn't bad picks. It's no chance. All right, I'm going to make a promise to everybody watching right now, to you, Jim, to Dave Pyper, the eye in the sky. The next winning week that I have on this show, the following show, I'm going to wear the Patriot footy pajamas.
Well, so next week, I mean, this is it. So
maybe, but or possibly I'm going to be cool and dry through all the shows through the entire rest of the season. So let's dig in, and we will start with the Thursday game. We're going to talk Saints at Cardinals. I'm going to have like little fun facts. Jim also has little fun facts about players on these respective teams. We're sort of spicing it up a little just because we know the picks haven't been great. But first, Jim, I'll ask you your opinion, your actual football opinion on this game where the Saints going to Arizona are +2. The Cardinals are favored.
Yeah. It's just hard for me to give points with this. It's hard for me to give points with Arizona. Like Cliff Kingsbury is like should spend half of his time on LinkedIn. Actually not. He's going to be paid, so he's way too cool for LinkedIn. I don't know why I said that. He would obviously try to go on Instagram and like DM somebody. But seriously, the Saints are a better team, I think. Just a better football team, even though it's not by much. I would take the points. I'll take the points. They have a lot of injuries, though, the Saints. They have a lot of injuries, but I'll take it.
They do. Yeah. Olave coming back, I think, does make a difference. Just give me one receiver that we can really rely on. I think it's funny. Like I was whining about having to take the Saints against the Bengals last week because at that point we didn't know if any of the receivers were going to play, and they didn't. And what I said was, if I knew they weren't going to play, then I wouldn't have picked them. But, integrity in our picks, so I still took them. And then as I was watching that film, I was like, wait, how did the Saints lose this game? And they actually, were ahead most of the game and played pretty well. I'm with you. I'm on the Saints. And my factoid about a player on the Saints, I've written down here. Did you know that Taysom Hill eats silver ingots as a midday snack?
Yeah, I mean, that's why he gets all the goal line touches. So
he's magnetized
direct correlation
by the end zone. This is true. We're going to go to Sunday. We're going to go to the Packers visiting the Commanders in our nation's capital. No bad publicity about the Commanders these days, for sure. The Packers on the road are 5-point favorites.
They've just been really bad, right? The Packers. At the same time, I'm going to give the points on the road here.
Remember that Thursday game?
The London game, it's just been embarrassing in general for this team. The Jets just rolled on this team, and that said, this is like a do or die game for Green Bay. Like I know this is what a silly thing to say. Narrative Street. I just feel like
they care more this week.
The late career Nicolas Cage thing that Aaron Rodgers is doing. This is the part of the movie where he steals the plane and beats Washington.
I'm with you. Green Bay -5 for me. And I was referring to the Thursday night game that the Commanders had against the Bears. Like, they won the game, but they sure didn't come across particularly well. And we're not going to get Carson Wentz for a while. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. But we're back to Taylor Heineke. So I actually know for a fact that give me a little known fact about Commanders offensive coordinator Scott Turner.
Scott Turner used to sell his dad's plays. On eBay, but the first version of eBay, like original old school eBay, where you'd bid to the end, and then when everybody realized that it was Norv Turner's playbook and it was late, they stopped bidding. So
we're filling in every game here, little morsel, a little. You might even say a Taysom Hill silver nugget. We're gonna keep going. But actually, we should thank the sponsor, because without DraftKings, they are still sponsoring. Our picks haven't been wonderful. I am probably 7 or 8 games under 500, maybe more. Dave Pyper will tell me. But by golly, DraftKings is sticking with us because they know, Dave, that we're going to turn it around, and Jim. So we thank them. If you're looking for a place to play the games, like, for example, you're going to watch the Thursday night game, you're not a Saints fan, you're not a Cardinals fan, just put $10 on a team. Trust me, you'll start rooting. Like, it works. We don't want you to bet the farm or anything, but it does work. The only thing we really ask is that you use the promo code HarrisTube if you do sign up. Download that DraftKings Sportsbook app. They have a promotion right now where if you make a $5 straight up bet, not with a point spread, on any team, and you win, you'll get $200 in free bets to play around with. So if you are looking for a place to play the game, if you live in one of the magic states like Dave and Jim both do, download that DraftKings Sportsbook app. And please do use the code HarrisTube. That helps us out a little bit. Just lets them know that sponsoring our goofy show works. Let's get back into it. We have a battle of the Models. It's the Browns at the Ravens. The Ravens can't seem to stand prosperity. You mentioned it already. They did it again to us. They are 6.5-point favorites against Jacoby Brissett, who, I think the mask is pretty off on Jacoby Brissett.
It is, and I guess even that's not so shocking that this offense is struggling. That was kind of the idea, that they were going to stay afloat until afloat. But I think that's ridiculous. I mean, who speaks like this? No, I think the biggest thing is that defense is awful, Cleveland. And I just didn't expect that. Between personnel and just precedent, they've been good the last few years. They're actually healthier this year. I'm going to take Baltimore. I'm going to do it again. I just think they're a really bad team. I know division games are traditionally close and stuff like that, but the way that New England exposed this team and just rolled on them, I think there's a real easy template here to just control this game for the Ravens.
I'm doing it too, and it feels really dumb, but I have Ravens -6.5. 6.5 already is telling you who they want you to take. They want you to take the Ravens, and we're falling into that trap. The thing I'll say about that game, I talked about in the podcast, obviously I do wear the Patriots footy pajamas. The Browns came out and very clearly had decided they will not run on us. And they did a pretty good job of that, but they had to sacrifice everything. And the problem that I had really was the offensive game plan. The Patriots apparently, like, they thought the Patriots would do the same thing, sell against the run, so they put Jacoby Brissett in shotgun to start the game and just threw. And on like a 3rd and 1, on a 4th and 1, didn't hand it to Nick Chubb. Like, I don't think Kevin Stefanski is a very good coach. I'm coming to that conclusion. I'm sorry, Dave Piper, who is silently cursing us both, but we're both going to be on the Ravens. Okay, and here's my little known fact. I did some research on the Ravens. I've got it. You know Patrick Ricard, the fullback, right? Patrick Queen, the linebacker. They are currently in negotiations with Neil Patrick Harris to star in their production of the Patrick Swayze story.
I thought Patrick Stewart was going to get involved in this too.
Well, you could be a casting director,
it's just
Frank.
First of all, just all respect to Patrick Swayze. We're talking about Patrick's. I just want to get it all out there. And I'm just going to let this settle in. I want everybody just to let that knowledge filter in.
It's a big one. It's big news, really. I'm in LA and Hollywood is a flutter. The Buccaneers are going to Carolina, and the Buccaneers totally hosed us last week by going to the Steelers and losing as a pretty big road favorite, and they go to Carolina and are an even bigger road favorite. The Buccaneers are 11-point favorites in
I think it's because Tom Brady yelled at everybody. That just
after incidentally not being there on Saturday when the plane landed in Pittsburgh, he was at Bob Bob's wedding. Maybe not the best look.
Listen, he's not getting treated any differently than anybody else. Like the punter wasn't even at the game. Like it's just something that's happening with Tampa. I mean, I'm shocked for one that Tampa's having a weird season. That their quarterback almost left. He's 45, and he didn't even give everybody free gifts this year. No Bengay, no TB12 bags. It's like something's up.
No bags of vitamins. The Bruce Arians parade. He basically fired the coach, right? I mean, we all know that the retirement was about firing the coach.
I know that's the thing. I'm trying to avoid this one because it's just like
you don't have to.
No, I'm gonna go. See, here's the thing. In theory, there's like a non-Baker bump and then also a new coach bump, and none of those are going to happen because everybody is on the trade block in Carolina, and like. I just think this it's truly a sinking ship, and I'm actually going to give the points. I don't know why, but
wow,
yeah, I'm going to do it. PJ Walker is my guy. He's really not my guy. It just sounds nice, and yeah,
I can't do it. I can't give that many points.
It's a lot.
I think Carolina just finds a way. Given the fact that I'm saying they find a way to keep it within 10 points, probably they don't, but. It's just too many points to me. That feels like one where you just, all the auditioning people who want to leave Carolina play well because they're like, this might be my last game here. Trade me now. All right, so Tom Brady gets all the headlines. However, tell us about Cade Otton, rookie tight end. Cade Otton. What's his hobby?
Cade Otton was actually a champion Scrabble player. Yeah. Wow. Except he got caught in a cheating scandal. There was like secret, like a wire thing that was going off, and he's just a terrible cheater, and he wore really short shorts, and everybody found out. So he's got huge thighs.
Was it one of those? Like
what was it? Was it the chess scandal? No, this was literally just an old Game Boy strapped to his leg, and. Somebody recognized.
Oh wow, that's I mean that.
Somebody recognized.
You're going to get caught, right? I mean, you're going to get caught.
He got in trouble.
Yeah. Well, Cade Otton, we're sorry right now, and please don't sue us. Falcons at Bengals. This just in, as we continue to say on the show, the Falcons don't stink and have covered every game. So they're the only team in the league who's done that. They are pretty good, and the Bengals are good in some areas, but they don't have a very good offensive line. I have an unfortunate story to tell, which is that I nailed the point spread on 3 games this week, but as you know, the rules of the show are that I can only bag out on 2 of them. So this is the one that I nailed the point spread, and I still have to pick it. So the spread is Bengals -6 at home against the Falcons.
I'm going to take some points. At some point, so I just start taking into account what I've been watching. And like you just said, the Falcons have been playing well. This is another one of these expect the shoe to drop kind of thing, or expect like some sort of like balance to come back, or this is still kind of anchored to like our expectations of Atlanta, like this line, and it's also obviously anchored to the meaning that they're going to be bad. I think the Giants lines keep doing that. We'll talk about that later. That like there's an expectation that some of this is smoke and mirrors. I just think Atlanta's weird. They just do weird stuff. I don't know how. Like Arthur Smith is just strange.
Yeah. He's a weird dude. I mean, he was with the Titans and they ran the same kind of thing. Just run a lot, but keep you off balance. But, you know, Tannehill's bootlegging and it works obviously much better with Marcus Mariota. I nailed this line, but I have two others that I'm passing on, so I have to pick this one. I'll just take the Bengals. I'll pick the Bengals and it's 6 points and it feels like will be decided by one score, and we'll just see. But I don't feel great about it. Okay, little known fact: you're aware of the adorable rookie. He's not a rookie last year. The kicker Evan McPherson, who was so clutch in the playoffs last year. You know that guy, right? Did you know that he recently saved a kitten?
Saved a kitten.
It's adorable. He saved
a
kitten.
Kid?
I mean,
and like
he
the kitten didn't
quit
get
smoking.
Or
no, he convinced the kitten to quit smoking. Whoa. Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, it's a good dude.
And cats can't really have gum, so that's challenging, you know?
Exactly. It's true. You know, McPherson is just a solid guy. Wait, all the way
was
down.
The cat dipping or smoking?
I guess this is secondhand. Okay. I heard this from NFL personnel that I know in a different organization, actually. So we might not know for sure, but I heard just full out smoking. Yeah. Yeah, it was not good. Lions at Cowboys. The return of Dak Prescott, and that will cure everything that went wrong with the Cowboys on Sunday night when I picked them and you picked them. That was not good. We should not have picked them. The Cowboys are home against the Lions, and they are giving 7 points.
The Lions aren't good at football, and the Dan Campbell thing.
But they're coming off a bye. I think a bye is worth 11 points.
It is, and you know, look, Dan Campbell is 43-2 coming off of a bye. He's 0-1, but you know, he's
43-2 in Madden.
He has a number that can get Andy Reid's number, and Andy Reid's really good off the bye. So 1 phone call away from a phone call, 2 phone calls away from Andy Reid not answering his phone. So I am going to take Dallas. I just think this Detroit defense is so bad. They're just so bad.
It just felt like you were giving a lot of reasons you were going to take the Lions.
No.
The Cowboys. But, you know, I think whoever's got whoever's phone number, and you know Andy Reid's drawn on their face. That's all you know. And I also am taking the Cowboys. I think Cooper Rush going back to the bench. I don't know if you know this. He has going back to the bench means a lot to Cooper Rush. Like, we hear so much about how, he's a lifetime backup and he's always been on the bench all these years or whatever. Well, he's so fond of the bench because he's a master woodworker. He's a craftsman. On the bench, he's actually making the bench beautiful, which I think that inspires
and one thing also is that Cooper Rush, he is falling behind on his Audible credits, like not calling audibles, like books. And yes, and he's like, this messed him up. This threw him off this season thing. The having to play thing, it's ridiculous.
Well, if you get eventually I assume that it's probably a Fox game and they're going to catch do a sideline view of Cooper Rush. What you're going to see is him first of all on an ornate throne-looking bench that he himself has carved, and he'll be listening to Judy Tenuta, some form of audiobook that she did at some point. Big fan. Very big fan. Giants, you mentioned them earlier. They're going to Jacksonville. The Giants have lost one game all year, buddy. The Giants, is that right?
Yeah, they're 5-1.
I don't even know. Maybe I think they are. They're 5-1. Unbelievable. They are going to Jacksonville. The Jags, who you came on my podcast a month or so ago and said, Jacksonville's offense, I think we're looking at not only is Christian Kirk supportable for fantasy, but they're going to have a second receiver that's good for fantasy. Lawrence is going to be good. Both running backs are going to be good. And you put the McCormick kiss on them right there because they've been pretty much hot garbage since it was a pretty clutch drive at the end of the Colts game last week to take the lead. Then the defense remembered that they used to know Urban Meyer, and that was the end of that. So the Jags are actually a 2-point home favorite.
Yeah.
No, sorry, a 3-point home favorite.
Yeah, and so I guess just what I said before, it's just that nobody trusts this team yet, or at least Vegas is still kind of hanging it out there. I'm not sure what Jacksonville has done to. I should say Jaguars. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what they've done to be favorites in this game, other than they have better hair as a team. I'm gonna guess, or at least the quarterback. Like, it's.
He does have sunshine, right? He has the sunshine hair. Yeah.
Nice cheekbones. Like, I'm gonna go with the Giants. I know.
Again, you gave us a reason to like the Jags.
Yeah,
cheekbones always. You bet on the cheekbones, and then you take the Giants. It's confusing.
It's weird. It's like a good looking. I'm not gonna say Willem Dafoe because that's weird, but like he just has this angular Nordic thing going that works. But the Giants are gonna sniff it out. So.
You know, it's so coincidental that you say Willem Dafoe, because did you know the backup quarterback there? Well, he's C.J. Beathard. I joke on the show that it's C.J. Boatyard, right? But it's C.J. Beathard, and he and Willem Dafoe are actually champion tandem clog dancers.
My God.
Did you know that?
Was this but I thought that because Beathard's Canadian, that there's some citizen, like that there's some, when it gets to the national level, it can be confusing.
Right, they can't be on an international. They can't be on like an Olympic team together.
This is it's got to be the pro. Yeah, I get it.
Right, exactly right. So I also am on the Giants here. Giants +3. The Colts travel to Tennessee, having discovered that throwing 2-yard passes beats Jacksonville. I guess that was interesting. An interesting game plan. There was no Jonathan Taylor, and there should be Taylor back for this one. These teams just played like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think the Colts and Titans might play 7 times.
I think they're the same team.
I could be wrong about that. but they really, and
yet
they aren't, right? I mean, so the Titans at home against a team that they beat by 7 and were up by more than that are 2.5-point favorites. Gee, which way do you think Harris is leaning?
I'm going the same way. I'm gonna take the home team. I'm taking Tennessee and giving the points.
Overlap is good. When our picks overlap,
I mean, consensus is the most dangerous thing on this show. So.
Hey, tell me this. What would surprise people about Derrick Henry's diet?
Well, one, I had breakfast with Derrick Henry once when he was in 10th grade. Super strange, but true. It was at a football tournament in Oregon.
We know firsthand.
Sugar cereal at the time. If he hasn't changed his diet since 2012, then see, even my dog's barking. Like everybody knows that Derrick Henry only eats peanut M&Ms.
Wow, I thought you said sugar cereal, and it went to peanut M&Ms, and it's
can't have
only
milk.
peanut.
Can't have milk.
He has that
can't have
physique
milk on the field and stuff. Like I'm talking about, like constantly, like.
Wow, unbelievable. He's quite a physique. If I ate peanut M&Ms, I sure wouldn't look like that. I can tell you that. That's something else. The Texans, a lot of protein. The Texans go to Vegas and they travel. Coming off of a bye, which would give them, I believe we decided an 11-point advantage, except the Raiders also get that 11-point bump. So you can just assume the over-under is 22 points higher, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the way that works. It's a 7-point spread. The Raiders favored by 7. I can tell you right now, this is one that I nailed, and therefore I did
too. I nailed it, but I'm going for it. I'm going to go for this. I'm going to think that the Raiders are going to play, like their offense is pretty good. Everything else is bad. I think they're going to roll on this team. I think this is the week. I think this is the week that Davis Mills. There's a new video game coming out. Some Marvel game. DC's. I don't know what it is. It's Arkham Knight is what it is. There's a DC game coming out, and this guy's going to be playing games all week. Davis Mills. So he's out of here.
Davis Mills sounds like a town outside of Philadelphia that you feel like your car isn't nice enough to be in.
Yeah. Or they might just take your car.
Is that fair? Is that fair? maybe I have it backwards. Actually, so I'm gonna be no play on this game, but a backup tight end, Mason Shrek. Did you know actually related to the actual Shrek?
I've sadly seen all the Shreks, and I mean we're all waiting for Shrek 4. How does it end?
Wait. There were more than Shrek 4s, weren't there?
There's
only
three
been
Shreks
3
because
Shreks.
it's like George Martin is still. We're still waiting for George Martin to finish Shrek 4. So
that's fair. Well, I mean, to be honest, the kid on the Mason Shrek, the tight end, he doesn't mention that he doesn't like nepotism. He just doesn't want people to, I mean, so he's a good guy. Speaking of green things, the Jets. What a
Ugh,
segue that
man.
was. Come on. That was pretty good. I do this for a living. The Jets go to Denver. The Jets have gathered some respect from Vegas, or else the Broncos have gathered negative respect, because this is a pick game. First of all, they always say the altitude actually matters. That's like a point. And it's a pretty damn good crowd too, although maybe not so much the way things are going. The Broncos and Jets are a pick 'em.
Yeah, I mean, Nathaniel Hackett looks like he's always ordering from a French restaurant or something. Like, he just looks so confused. But he wants to be confident, so he'll just say like foie gras all like that's the only word he knows in French. So he just keeps saying it, and
that is a lot of killed stuff.
Yeah, it's terrible. Can you imagine
that
like
a lot of it.
Everybody's just like, yeah, I think I know what Nate's gonna order. So in any case, I can't do this. I can't do this Russell Wilson thing anymore. I'm sure Denver people can't either. At the same time, sticking with my theme, taking Denver because here's the reason. Here's the reason. Zach Wilson is too good looking to be a quarterback.
Wow.
Why isn't Zach Efron a quarterback? Think about it.
That's a good point. Now that you think about it, are there bad-looking Zachs in the world?
Because like Tom Brady's like good-looking, but it's like good-looking on the relative scale to like everybody else that plays quarterback.
How much plastic surgery has Tom Brady had in this last offseason?
It's like smoothing.
It's insane, isn't it? He was belt sanded.
You know, his problem is he saw Trevor Lawrence's cheekbones. So
Zach Braff. I mean, I'm not gonna say Zach Braff is bad looking, but he's not like
quirky.
A super incredible, great looking guy, right? Yeah. Okay, I figured one out then. He's not an NFL quarterback either. This all making sense. We need a conspiracy board of Zachs, I think. And I also am on Denver here for the reason of Damari Mathis is only going to commit 7 pass interference penalties in this game. Big game, late game. Everyone will see this one. Chiefs travel to San Francisco. The Chiefs just play a gauntlet, murderer's row. Every year they're like, okay, can we get the 27 Yankees?
They're like barnstorming.
I guess they're all dead. Yeah. They are 3-point favorites in San Francisco.
Yeah. I just circled Kansas City. I'm not sure even what way it went into it. I just was like, circle, and that's my pick. Once again, going back.
So, okay, wait, say a lot of bad things about
it. I will. Juju Smith-Schuster. The Juju is the first Juju. It's not hyphenated, right? He's not double hyphenated.
No, I think it's cap under lowercase
cap. Gotcha. Okay, so that theory's gone. But I mean,
like he's named actually. My fun fact about them was going to be he's named after Juju Bees.
My fun fact is that that Travis Kelce basically said they're signing Odell Beckham Jr. on his podcast with his brother, which was interesting. And he probably wasn't supposed to say that, so that's interesting. But at the same time, I just don't think San Francisco can score with these guys. And their defense is incredible, but that's also like the story of their season. So, yeah.
I'm going to go Niners. I'm going to take the points. I'm obviously relying on last week being somewhat of an aberration, and I'm relying on the Niners being able to slow the game down to the point where, let's face it, the Bills that game wound up being not the tempo that you expected. Both defenses played back. Both offenses were patient. It's like a 17-17 game in the fourth quarter, right? It was not the track meet that you'd expect. I hope and think San Francisco can do that same thing. My little known fact is Spencer Buford. He's a backup offensive lineman for the Niners. Like, you might not have heard of him, but he actually raises corgis, but they're free range corgis. So like they're untamed. They're wild. Like, you can't get too close to these corgis, but they are out it's beautiful to behold. Like, they're out on the land. They roam the land.
It's like Pablo Escobar's hippos, but yes, but exactly. Yeah.
Very dangerous, but very cute. Seahawks, they go to the Chargers. The Chargers, probably not good, but probably better than the Seahawks, which is why they're giving 5 points.
Yeah. This one was tough because, like, again, Seattle has been pretty good and quite good on offense. But I still just think that defense is atrocious. I write about defense a lot, and I don't know many of the people who play on this defense. So, I mean,
and yet, what'd they just do to Arizona?
Well, Arizona, again, Cliff Kingsbury.
Trumps all crappiness on defense.
It's never good to give a guy named Cliff too much money. I saw Cliff Lee. I mean, that's my only other answer, but, you know.
Clifford the Big Red
Dude,
Dog. Totally.
First of all, I have so many
cokehead.
Clifford things. I'm not even kidding. Clifford, it's like.
Do you tell your little girls about Clifford?
Oh my God! First of all, Clifford like destroys his neighborhood. Everybody would hate this guy. Like, and you know what? Not to get gross, but no one's ever shown how they clean up his poop. Like,
oh, it's
ever.
huge. I mean, it's huge,
ridiculous.
Poop, and it's laced with cocaine. Laced with cocaine,
and that's why. The dad comes in and he's like all squirrely, and it's like, "What have you been doing, Dad?" And you know.
And that's why you're picking the Seahawks.
Yeah,
you're picking the Chargers.
Exactly.
Sorry,
I'm gonna take the Bolts.
You get the Chargers.
I'm giving the points. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take the Seahawks. 6 points. I think I might have said 5. It is 6. Obviously, precision is the name of this show, and I don't love it. I set the line at 5. That's why I was confused, but I'm gonna say I take Seahawks plus 6. The Sunday night, the 2 national TV games on Sunday, Monday night blow. The Steelers are newly rejuvenated and amazing at football after having upset plastic surgery Tom, as we like to call him. And they're going to the Dolphins, and that is Dolphins -7 with Tua returning.
Yeah. I mean, I'm left-handed. Tua's left-handed. Can't go wrong here.
Steelers.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins here. I've said all year I think they're a pretty good team. They are very inconsistent. But maybe some of
the problem is the defense. You must be paying attention to that defense. I mean, they don't blitz nearly as much as they used to, and they don't tackle.
The cornerbacks got so consumed with who's the better cornerback that they just both like. It's like one of those like movies, like a Kirk Cameron movie where they change faces kind of thing. But except they change faces and both just became a lot worse. Like they're living. Xavier Howard is in Byron Jones' body, and Byron Jones is in Xavier Howard's body, and it's not working.
Right, they're just confused by their clothes.
Yeah, that's what
so they're
is.
very distracted during the game.
I don't like quinoa. Yeah.
This is a no play. I set this one at 7, so this is a no play for me. Mitch Trubisky may or may not play in this game, and that doesn't matter for the fun fact that I'm about to give you. Did you know he just really likes chewing gum? He's on chat rooms, chat boards all day, just talking about chewing gum.
I can see that. I mean, it's like the Mike Tice lineage. Yeah. Like he's just chewing gum. Like he's just
not a thought in his head. Not a thought in that completely square head.
And he's gonna be a color commentator for like 20 years. So
Ian Mark Sanchez duking it out. Last one, Monday night, those footy pajama Patriots suddenly, anytime they face a terrible quarterback, look like they're a competent organization. And to be fair, as much crap as I scooped on the Patriots all preseason and when they started 1-3, I also had them in both of these last 2 games because I know what Belichick does to bad quarterbacks. The line is big here. The Bears are traveling to Monday night to face the Patriots. Belichick can pass George Halas's record. He's tied with him right now. The Patriots are -8.
They're good at this, the setting the lines thing, aren't they? Because this is a difficult, to get your head around this one. But I'm going to give the points with New England. I just think, they've been playing really, really well on defense. And to the point that you said, bad quarterbacks, they magnify the badness. And it's not that hard to magnify the badness right now with Justin Fields. So,
no.
It's just
Dude, I was making...
take what you... Take away your good stuff, and I don't know what they even have to take away. So.
But they might not cover because they'll be confused looking for good stuff to take away. I was making excuses for Fields. I thought 2 weeks ago in that Vikings game, he came back, it was a good effort in the second half, and I'm out of excuses, man. That one pass that he overthrew the tight end, it was a 20-foot pass that he airmailed by 5 feet. I mean, there's no question you, me, and Dave Pyper could make that throw. The question is whether our respective, great grandfathers who are all dead could have made it, because I think they could have. And so I'm with you. I'm on the Patriots. I set the line at 10, so I'm going to say Patriots -8. The last question I have, I know how tied into the Patriots organization you are. Bill Belichick famously did not attend the aforementioned Robert Kraft's wedding because why? What was he doing?
He was rollerblading. There's a rollerblading tournament.
Wow. What's a rollerblading tournament? See, that's something I've never heard of before. How do you is it speed or is it
You ever
style?
seen street racing, Fast and the Furious?
Wow. So it's speed.
Yeah, it's a lot of speed, and it's called the Starburst Championship. But the craziest part is it's underground, and Starburst still sponsors it. So.
Yeah. Wow. They have a sponsor, and it's not even legal. Is Belichick
It's
good?
all Bitcoin. He's really good. I mean, have you ever seen he's a good skater. He skated at Randy Moss's Halloween party. dressed as a pirate. Look it up.
Wow.
And he can skate in pirate garb. So.
And it is all Bitcoin. Yeah. That's a good point. It really is all Bitcoin. Well, that's it. That hopefully we've got them all right. I think we do. Even the ones that we disagreed, we got them right. And hopefully we are not going to get sued after this particular YouTube video is posted. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate DraftKings very much for sponsoring. Jim and I appreciate Dave Pyper very much. Especially we like it when Dave Pyper laughs in our ear as we're making silly cracks. And by all means, tell us down in the comments who your best bet is after I ask Jim what your best bet is.
I mean, besides Clifford going to rehab, it's going to be I am going to take Kansas City. I'm giving the points on the road.
Okay, well, I'm on the opposite side of that, so that'll be very interesting. Yeah. But that's not my best bet. I actually have the Titans. I feel like the Titans has proved that they were better the last time in Indianapolis. I don't know what changes. Plus, they get the 11-point bye-week bump. That's just science. So I will say the Titans. But let us know, everybody watching, down in the comments what your best bet of the week is against these spreads that we have mentioned. For Dave and for Jim, I am Chris. We hope you subscribe. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.